Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Ferry Hawks baseball. Come out to the ballpark as the Ferry Hawks welcome in the Charleston Dirty Birds May 5th through the 10th. Grab the kids and come on out. We kick it off on Tuesday, May 5th with Cinco de Baseball with $5 tickets and $5 food and beverage specials. And we end the week as we celebrate all moms on Mother's Day. Moms get in free. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
So Dana Perino made her debut on Sid and Friends in the Morning yesterday. I go, Dana, listen, okay. I have a lot of very, very close friends at Fox. I would say about 4 times a week. We do a 3-way text, me, Sean Hannity, and Mark Levin, literally 4 times a week. But Brian Kilmeade is my guy, and Brian is really the one that helped set this up. I love Brian. And Dana's like, I got to tell you, I don't know why I listen to these boring political podcasts. She goes, your show is great. And she only heard about 4 minutes while waiting on hold. So Brian, who does a great job following me each and every weekday morning here on 77 WABC at 10 o'clock, Fox and Friends, his own amazing show, Sunday nights at 10 o'clock, One Nation. Brian, you basically set this thing up, and she seemed to really have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a great book out. She's pumped up. She's going to be on Long Island and Oyster Bay, I think Monday. Yes, Monday. Steve Israel's bookstore over at Teddy Books. And I said, wait a second, have you haven't been on with Sid yet? And he's like, no. She goes, yeah, we're having trouble getting the time. I go, guys, that's it. Let's get this done. I mean, Sid is flexible. He love you. You would love him. And I just feel like I put you two together, and I think this is going to be a regular thing. Because you're half between Jesse and Gutfeld. I'm like, that's the type of personality. She gets along with the irreverent, but the knowledgeable, smart, and insightful. So I mean, this is perfect. It's if you're the hybrid of the 5.
I love that. Somewhere between Jesse and Gutfeld, and very cute too, like those guys. Well, thank you for that, Brian. She was great. You're still my guy. You're my box person, but she was terrific. Before we get
the best she could do was number 2.
Yeah, right. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. Although the Hawks were number 2 last night, and when there's only 2, that's not good. Obviously, you're a big sports guy. You and I almost did a sports show together, and I always talk about this literally 30 years ago, but the Knickerbockers had a 50-point lead in the second quarter. I just turned 59 last Sunday. I've never seen an NBA game like this. Not like your little kids play basketball. It's like 100-12. This was a 50-point Knick lead in the second quarter. They move on. Things more complicated now because the 76ers beat the Celtics last night. So all of a sudden, the mighty Celtics, they got to play Game 7 at home. And don't look now. But with the Pistons struggling and Cleveland barely getting by, the Knickerbockers right now are the most impressive team, Brian, inside the Eastern Conference.
And you know what? I just think that it's funny because it looks so bad for 2 straight games. Because they lost 2 by 1 point. You think to yourself, what's going on with the bench? Why did they have these guys in at the end? What happened to the defense from last year? And then they quickly show that they can beat the Hawks, and they do, and then they crush the Hawks in 6, and people are going, they look better than ever, while the Celtics struggle against Philadelphia. I mean, this is, we watch Houston and Lakers going at it. So there's a lot of, there's a lot going. I tell you, Mike Brown seems like a great guy, but there's pressure on this guy to go beyond what the last year's team did.
Thibodeau, yeah.
And it looked like the Hawks look younger. They look faster. They look looser. They were not intimidated by the Garden. And I'm thinking to myself, they're probably going to fire this guy if they lose this series. And now all of a sudden it's like, well, anything's possible. But fundamentally, even though we have new rules now, Sid, doesn't this come down to tenacious defense still? I mean, we were there in the 80s and 90s, real 90s with the Knicks every year. I don't care what happened, who they rotated in as a Kiki Vandeweghe or whoever. They were known for tough defense. That's what got them deep in the playoffs every year against Miami and ultimately against Houston. And now we're back to that. Even though the rules are a little bit tighter, that's what it's going to be. And if we could figure that out, I think they just finally figured it out.
There's no question, especially in the postseason, regular season basketball, you can win 155-135, but even though the Knickerbockers scored 140 points last night, to your point, they only gave up 80-plus at one point in the second quarter. The Hawks only had 22 points. So you're right. defense usually wins, just like football in the postseason. And the Knickerbockers played great defense the last 3 games against the Hawks. You know what did make me nauseous so last night? The Knicks are up big at the half. And I noticed the mayor, this idiot mayor, actually tweeted, "In Knicks we trust." I don't know when he became a big Knick fan. I know he's a guy in hugging Mr. and Mrs. Met. I'm not exactly sure when Zoran Mamdani became a big Knick fan, but I actually was having such a good night enjoying all the action till I saw the mayor's tweet.
I know. Yeah, what about the way we haven't talked about this. What about the way he acted with the king and queen?
Oh, that was disgusting. Disgusting. By the way, Curtis Sliwa agrees with him. He agrees. Give back the jewel. Who cares? I mean, you got 4 countries that claim they own that crown jewel. India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran. Who cares? He's here. He's at a 9/11 memorial. But it goes to show you, Brian, that this guy doesn't care about the beautiful American lives that perished, that died on that soil that day. He doesn't really care about what we went through the last 25 years. He just doesn't care.
He doesn't get it. I mean, it's like a child. I mean, it was like a little spoiled brat. I don't like him. No. You're running this city. He chose to come to your city. He didn't have to. You go to the 9/11 memorial. You want to get attention for 25 years. But then again, he has to make a statement about the king. You go out there, Bloomberg had to step up and stand with him by the memorial. I mean, to me, I'd be ticked off if, I go, hey, I'm the mayor, but he doesn't want to be with the king. So I had Harry Cole on yesterday from The Sun, British newspaper, and he said the deal is India gave it to Britain as a gift. This is not even, you and I wouldn't know this issue. I don't even know how to pronounce the jewel. So they gave it as a gift. He goes, so we keep it. That's it. It's done. Yeah, I know, but it just underlined this. He's not from here. 8 years ago, he was, I think, in Uganda. So he doesn't even think with an American sensibility. He doesn't think about the War of 1812. He doesn't think about the British alliance in World War XI, like Congresswoman Crockett. So this is, to me, he hurt himself with that, as bad as he did with the Ken Griffin situation.
Oh, no doubt. And that jewelry was given to England 93 years ago. And again, for me, it's less than, he doesn't know, he's young. He has no heart. You don't got to be, mature or know a lot to know that when 3,000 people died where you're standing, he also took a smiling selfie, him, Kathy Hochul. There were 5 of them. Are you going to tell me that New York politicians at this point don't know that when you stand on that sacred soil where all those Americans died, you can take a picture. You do not take a smiling selfie. That's what Kathy Hochul, Mamdani, and all these nitwits did a couple days ago.
Yes, and I got more bad news. I'm sure you know it. They are underlying severe sanctuary city laws to prevent ICE from doing anything in the city. So they let in tens of thousands who are living off the city, off the tax dollars, and now they have the most strict sanctuary cities. You do not cooperate with ICE in New York. Hochul is ushering it in. Bruce Blakeman's got to capitalize on this. No cooperation with illegal immigrants, siphoning off our system, living in our hotels, and now on the streets in many cases, overcrowding schools. And now if they come after them, they're going to punish the cops if they cooperate at all, and they're going to block ICE wherever. They're going to be obligated to block ICE wherever they go. Now, what's Homan going to do? Probably double and triple down. We could have a mini Minneapolis right here again. So that is what Governor Hochul's still doing. So don't let anyone tell you that she's a moderate. Watch her actions. And she's scared to death of Mamdani, scared of whatever he harnessed to get elected. So she does not know what to make of it. And that's why if Bruce Blakeman gets aggressive and calls her out on all this, she'll be forced to either act like a socialist or act like a moderate. You can't have it both ways.
You're right about her. By the way, in the final 60 seconds, she did meet with the aforementioned, you mentioned Ken Griffin moments ago, who's considering taking his $6 billion New York City project someplace else because of the moron Mayor Mamdani. They did meet yesterday. They spoke about taxes, I guess specifically second home tax. I can't pronounce that ridiculous French term for what she wants to do, but she did meet with Griffin yesterday, so there is hope that he will still spend that money right here in New York City.
I don't know. Is there hope? Or would I like him to do what he did in Chicago and leave and send a message? Send a message. I mean, look, I know in the short term we all pay the price for that, but send a message. What you're doing is scaring away everybody. You went after me. Now you lost $6 billion, 100,000 jobs, and everything else that those people were going to contribute to the New York City economy. I find myself rooting against New York because I want them to learn the lesson. Remember what Ken Griffin said. There's nothing in our DNA in America that can coexist with socialism. That lunatic in Seattle, if billionaires want to leave, goodbye. You know, that we have our mayor. Billionaires should not be allowed. No, billionaires, you say, how did they do it? Do reverse forensics, and you follow in their wake, and you hope that someone like that will mentor you, or you can read their biography and emulate their steps. That's the American way. You know, if you inherit this money and you split, you know, you're blowing it from, like we know a lot of people, next, second, and third generations, that's not what I'm talking about. But no one gave these guys anything. Sid, how much are you working? What time did we get up today? You know, how long did it take us to get these jobs? I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, underline the path to success. It's never easy, but it's synonymous with the American way. I'm going to earn my way up. I'm going to see people that are successful. I'm going to find out how they did it, see if I could match them and exceed them. But we have these people that we keep electing that want us to resent them, and we cannot let that happen.
That is so well said. I mean, I'm actually giving you a fist pump right now, Brian Kilmeade. That was great. And I'm with you. I'm a recovering addict, and I had to hit rock bottom, hit my knees, and hit rock bottom before I got better. I am also rooting for New York, even though I work and live here, my wife and children, to drown, because like a recovering addict, until you hit rock bottom, yes, you never really get better. So I'm with you 1,000%. Okay, Brian, 2 days away, 10 p.m. Sunday night. Best show on cable TV. Your show, One Nation, 10 p.m. Sunday nights on Fox News. What are we looking at?
Well, I can't forget about October 17th at West Prairie Music Fair. We're beginning to sell a lot of tickets from Uniting the States Tour, my new book coming out in October. But coming up, we got Peter Schweitzer is going to unwind what's happening with China. He is going to dig in, the investigative reporter. Also, why are we being infiltrated by outside sources through social media trying to divide us? He's unwound the whole thing. Mike Pence is going to be with us. We know that for sure. Abby Hornacek, I know, is your favorite. That'll be great. We got other surprises throughout the day. Sunday at 10 o'clock, all-time high. Last week, we got the highest demo on the day in Sunday. That means young people are watching because they know we're cool. So that makes sure Sunday at 10. But most of all, listen to today's radio show because we're going to talk about, we got a great roster of guests today, including my brother's going to be joining us, talking about his brand new team as well as a World Cup preview. We're going to have Shannon Bream's going to be with us, Julian Epstein on the Democrats that he wants no longer a part of. Like Fetterman, he's a moderate. That's happening to his party. Just like that lunatic in Maine. A Nazi tattoo, is a socialist, and he had basically knocked out the sitting governor to get the Democratic nomination. I want to find out what's happening with that party because I find that flat out scary.
That is terrifying. I agree with you. By the way, the Iranian soccer team will be here in the United States playing during the World Cup. That should be interesting. And you are very cool.
Massively defect.
I know. You are very cool and very handsome. You're great, Brian Kilmeade. I love you. We'll all be listening to your radio show at 10 o'clock. I'll be watching you 10 p.m. on Sunday night. Thanks again for Dana and all the great stuff you do on WABC. Brian Kilmeade, I love you. Thank you so much.
All right, back at you, Sid, and stay within yourself throughout the show.
I will try, buddy. Thank you. There he is, the great Brian Kilmeade. He's coming up after me at 10. We'll take a short break. Arthur Idala coming up next.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here? Sacco and Felice, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFelice.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.